Listen, we have seen about normalization of tables in the previous class. Normalization, there are 5 normal forms. First normal form, define all columns. Second normal form, remove unwanted or repeated column. Third normal form, define a primary key. Fourth normal form, divide the data into suitable tables. Divide the columns into tables. Then fifth normal form, look out for further division of the data into tables. Done. Then there are some constraints called integrity and constraint. Constraint means condition, a condition, a constraint. One of the constraints may be you should wear mask when you come to the ITI, otherwise you have to pay 5 rupees fine. It's a constraint when you come under a particular condition, which has been imposed on us. It's called a constraint. Okay, you must wear your ID card, otherwise you will have to pay fine. It's a constraint. Constraint in terms of our programming paradigm. Okay, constraint. It's a condition imposed upon us. Then integrity. What is integrity? Do you remember National Integrity Pledge? National Integrity Pledge we take upon the occasion of upon whatever good occasion we celebrate for our nation. We take National Integrity Pledge. It is integrity means we will remain flawless, without mistake. We will not commit anything deviating from right things. Okay, integrity. One can be trusted. An integral person can be trusted without any questions, because integral person would not violate any rules. Integrity. Integrity means what? For human beings, we call moral integrity. Moral integrity means you will not violate the moral codes of conduct. You will not trespass your limits under any circumstance. That's called moral integrity. For databases, we impose 3 types of integrity. Domain integrity. The first integrity is domain integrity, specifying suitable constraints in setting values permitted and not permitted in a table is called domain integrity. That is default null, not null, default 0. These are called domain integrity constraints. When you define a context table, you may say name varchar 30, not null. You should not provide a null value for name. You should compulsorily provide a name. It's called domain integrity. You must specify a particular value, or you fail to specify any value, default 0. In case any value is not provided, you have to take default value of 0. That is also called domain integrity. That is, your data should observe particular rules. Each column should observe particular rules. It's called domain integrity. Then entity integrity. This entity integrity is related to third normal form of our normalization rule. Third normal form says that each table must have one what? One, don't you remember? One primary key. Hello, all of you have started sleeping. Third normalization rule says each table must have a primary key. The same is emphasized here under entity integrity. Every table must have one primary key. Each table should have a primary key. Then referential integrity. Referential integrity means we have certain data in a table. Okay, then all of a sudden we should not delete that row, delete that data, and make other tables to land into errors. How can I explain this? Suppose there is a patient with ID number 1300 who comes to your hospital for certain visits. Okay, she has come to the hospital 5 to 6 times in the previous past. You would have a table for patient identity. That is a patient ID number, name, contact number, email ID, all those things would be stored in a particular table, patient table. Then there will be a visit table in which you will not repeat all those things. You will simply say patient ID is 1300. Then all the other consultation details. whenever you delete 1300 patient ID 1300 from patient list, what will happen? A person would have visited the hospital 5 to 6 times, whereas the name, contact details of the person would be missing. This should not be done. Whenever a particular primary key is referred in another table as foreign key, the primary key of patient table is referred in another table. You should not delete that particular row. You must never delete a particular row which has been, for which the primary key has been used in some other location. You should not delete that row, because such deletion will result in huge amount of problems. Has happened even at larger levels in corporate companies. Simple deletion of a row would mean enormous loss to the company. You should not do that. Okay, referential integrity, that is, you refer a particular primary key in another table. When you refer such primary key in another table, you should not delete the primary key row. It will land you into trouble. Therefore, what are the three types of integrities we expect? Domain integrity. The first one is domain integrity. What is domain integrity? For each column, we define some default values. Values permitted, values not permitted. All those are put together as domain integrity. Okay, not null, default 0. All these are called domain integrity values. Entity integrity, primary key. Entity integrity is simply related to primary key. There must be a primary key. Done. Then referential integrity. When you refer the primary key of any table in another table, you must not delete the primary key row. You should not delete the primary key row. Okay. Because the references to particular row will result in error for other tables. Okay. Non-existent reference would be landing you into troubles. There will be some problem. Okay. Then what are the three integrities? Domain integrity, entity integrity, referential integrity. Can you repeat? Domain integrity, entity integrity, referential integrity. Once more, domain integrity, entity integrity, referential integrity. Domain integrity, entity integrity, referential integrity. Then these are the three integrity values we enforce upon any database table. Any table. Okay. Done. Then relationships. Relational database management system. The very word relational means there will be some relation between tables. You have several tables and each table is related to another table through some what? Relationship rules. Okay. One to many relationship. One primary key may be referred in several other tables as foreign key. It's called one to many relationship. I told you about patient ID. Patient ID being the primary key for patient table. Then visit table has got patient visits as a secondary key or a foreign key. Then she may have some amount, some amount to be paid, due. Amount due may be another table in which 1300 would be about to pay. So some balance amount would be supposed to pay some balance amount. You will enter the balance amount in that table. One to many relationship. One primary key is referred in several other tables as foreign key. One to many relationship. Then many to many relationship. A particular table may have many foreign keys. Many foreign keys, and the particular table may be referred in many other tables. The primary key of one particular table may be referred in many other tables. Many. Okay. Then to many. This particular table will also call for several foreign keys. Okay. It's called many to many relationship. Many to many relationship states that the table is very important. You should be able to maintain the table at proper integrity level, because when you delete any data in the particular many to many relationship table, several other tables would be affected. Okay. Then one to one relationship. One particular table is related to another table. Only two are tied together. No other table is involved. It's called one to one. The primary key of one table is related in another table as a foreign key. Then the primary key of the other table is referred in the particular table as foreign key. Okay, only two tables are involved in the relation. In such a case, we would call the relation one-to-one relation. What are the types of relation we have? One-to-many relationship. That is, one primary key referred in several other tables as foreign key. One-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-one. What are the relationship types? One-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-one. Repeat. One-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-one. Once more. One-to-many, many-to-many, one-to-one. Okay. These are the three types of relationships. We have already said that there are three types of integrity. Entity integrity, domain integrity, referential integrity. Then there are three types of relationships. Several other types may also exist, whereas we are concerned about the three types of relationship: one to many to many, one to one. Okay. Then, what are the standard data types available in MySQL? MySQL supports several types of data. Varchar is one data we often used. Varchar was the only data we often used. It's available at the end, maybe at the end. Long? No. Varchar is the second one. Char is the normal data. Char has got particular value. Whereas varchar is a more flexible type of data. When you say char 30, it reserves 30 characters for particular column. Whether you use it or not, they are wasted. Whereas varchar, you say 30 characters, varchar 30. It will reserve 30 columns. Whereas when you have a shorter name for the person, maybe the name contains only 6 to 7 letters. The remaining 23 characters will not be wasted. They will be used for some other storage, some other data. Varchar, variable number of characters. Okay, instead of char, it's prudent to use varchar for designing tables. Then binary. Binary means binary. Any idea? It's non-human readable code. Executable code may be called binary code. Or JPEG or PNG images, they are binary. The data is binary. Okay, such data is called binary. Then var binary, variable binary, similar to char varchar. Binary, var binary, variable number of binary characters. Then blob. Blob is at 8. Blob means binary large object. Blob means binary large object. Suppose one wishes to store an entire movie inside a database table. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible when you store it in the form of blob, binary large object. Okay. Then tiny blob is one version of blob. Tiny blob is at 5. Tiny blob is a blob, binary large object, whereas with a smaller size. Okay, tiny blob stores up to 255 binary digits. Then tiny text. Tiny text stores up to 255 characters. Okay, it cannot store more than that. Text. It can store up to 65,535 characters. How many characters in text? Text can store 65,535 characters. Okay. Then blob, medium text. Medium text. It can store up to 16 lakhs, 16 million 777,215 characters. Medium text, medium blob. Medium text is characters, whereas medium blob will store bits or binary digits. Okay, binary digits. Then long text. Long text can store 4,294,967,295 characters of data. Enormous. We cannot imagine the size of it. It's okay. Then long blob. Long blob can also store such limits: 4,294,967,295 binary digits. Binary digits. Then enum. Enum means enumeration. Enum means enumeration. Instead of saying one, if you say enum, ONE 1, TWO 2, 3. Enum 1, 2, 3 will represent numbers 1, 2, and 3. You can what? You can use either 1, 2, 3 as numbers or ONETWO as numbers. These two are defined through enumeration. Then set. Set means it creates a new data type, set of data. 1, 2, 3. These are created as a variable and stored in a particular variable. You can use them. You can use them as what? As a set. 1, 2 can be a set. 3, 4 can be a set. Okay. Set of data. 1, 2. That is only these three. We have only 1, 2, and 3. You can combine these three and produce new values 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, I give you one condition. You are allowed to visit Pothys today. Maybe your group has got 4 members. I permit only 2. I call them 1, 2, 3, and 4. Whereas only 2 are permitted. Who are the 2? Which 2? Which of the 4 can be permitted? 1 and 4, 3 and 2. Okay, or 4 and 1. These are possible combinations. Set restricts the values into the given values. Restricts the combinations into given set of values. You cannot use any other values, whereas you can use any combination of the values inside the set. Okay, it's a set. Done. With this, we close. We'll go to this tomorrow. With this, we close. Then we have seen about what? Integrity. Domain integrity, entity integrity. Then referential integrity. Then one-to-many relation, many-to-many relation, one-to-one. Then we have seen about char, varchar, blob, var blob. Then tiny blob. Then these are the most important data types. The others are not so often used. Enum is one of the things we often use. Enum may be used in the practical life, whereas other things are just okay. They are for some extraordinary situations. We close this. Text, long text, medium text, all those are maybe they need.